So today is February the 6th, and it is a Wednesday. I am starting the recording at the beginning with Math Workshop, just for the sake of if I miss class later today. So, first off, we are on number 5 on Math Workshop. Looking at it, this is the problem. And I'll admit, when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, like it made me kind of like stop and think, are y'all going to be able to do this or not? But once you kind of pick at it a little bit, you can do it. And I want to say one thing about this. You can see that they want the value of P. They want the value of a variable just by looking at these answer choices. We have done this before. Like, we've had to do equations and do this. So, if I write this problem, okay, the only difference between this problem and what I've already taught you is that normally there's been an equal sign. It's been an equation, okay? Listen, it's the same math though, even if it's the greater than or less than sign. It would be a little different if it had negative numbers. There's some tricks to negatives, but we're not doing negatives right this second. So I want you to think about it. Our whole goal here is to get P by itself down here. So what is on that side that we can move easily? Y'all can say it?
12.
The 12, because it's a minus 12. What's the opposite? Plus 12. So what we do to one side, we do to the other. So like, turn around please guys. So now, if I change that to an equal sign, we will have done this before. We know 5 up against P means times. Opposite is division. And using my calculator, if I use 36 divided by 5, I get this. Now, I once again kind of went, ugh, like, why did I just get that? But I realized the only difference between that is a decimal and all these answer choices were fractions. Well, we've been taught this too. How, like, if you were to read this, not 7.2, how do you read that? 7 and, but wait a minute, 2 what? 2/10. Now, the only reason I'm saying it is, this equals this, 7 and 2/10. Then if I simplify it, it is 7 and what? 1/5. 2 goes into 2 what? 2 goes into 10/5. You have solved what is called a two-step inequality problem using what I've already taught you. That's the whole thing with this, with any of these state tests, with Scantron, whatever you want to call it. They don't exactly give you like, hey, this is how you do it. But they want you to kind of pick through it and see if you can figure it out. But it may not just be one thing of math. This one had add, this one had division. Ended up, if you used a calculator, I got the decimal. So from there, getting it changed to a fraction, that's like 5 different concepts in math. Sometimes you just kind of have to try the math problem and see if you can get an answer. Okay, second thing. Will you get out last night's math homework? It was page 1, please stop, slow down, 7 through 18. Okay. Now, if you weren't here, we talked about that on this. We are figuring out rate to unit rate. Taking a large number, and there's some of y'all weren't here, so we're going to talk about it. That's the day before. Keep that. Keep that. later in the day, I know I had to do 20, but I realized I didn't really love 19 and 20. So I shortened it. Sometimes my reminds can be important for that reason. Meaning I said on remind, I was shortening it to 18, and in the video I said I'm shortening it to 18. Now, with that being said, we take what the book gives us. So they gave us 40.8 gallons to 8 containers. You've got to stop before you do any of these and ask yourself, what do they want one of? Do they want 1 gallon or 1 container? If 1 container is what they want, the 1 has to go on the bottom. Now, throughout this, some of you might get the wrong answer. If you don't have the 1 container on the bottom or the 1 steak on the bottom, your math is going to be wrong because you will have divided the wrong number by the wrong number. Okay? So, starting out. Number 7, I got 8 containers. Well, changed it to 1 container, 5.1 gallons.
What did you say?
Say it again.
What did you say?
Shorten it to. Oh, the problem numbers? 18. That's okay. The bigger numbers are rates. If you were absent, look real quick. All you have to do is divide to get that answer, 12 out of 1. So I divided 72 divided by 6 to get the 12 ounces for 1 steak. So does that kind of make sense? Let me show you the next one. So like this person, let's say that this person can type 180 words in 3 minutes. And they want to know, well, wait a minute, how many can they do per minute? So they divide that out to get 60 words a minute. Okay. Good so far? Okay. Number 10. It's $36 for 4 tickets. So how much is 1 ticket? $9. Okay. Listen, I'm being overly nice to not make you write sentences. Please make sure you're giving me words, dollar signs, something. Otherwise, I don't know what it stands for. Okay, give me a word or something. Okay, probably not, no. So, like this one. You can even see on number 11, I did kind of change it up. Here I put 8 bottles. This side I put 1 bottle of water. It means the same thing. You know, both bottles lined up. That's good to go. This one, if you got 2, you got the wrong thing on the bottom. They want to know how much is 1 bottle. The bottle has to be on the bottom. And 0.5 means 50 cents. So it's 50 cents a bottle. If you flip it, you got like 2 or 2.0 or something. The bottle has to be on the bottom. And a lot of times you'll hear me ask this. Like I'll say, do I want 1 bottle or $1? Well, we know what $1 is, but we don't know how much the bottle of water is. Does that make sense? Okay, 0.5, same thing. There's a 0 right there. Same thing, yes. Good to go? Okay. Number 12. This one, the only tricker was that it's $3 for a dozen eggs. But they didn't tell you what a dozen was, whatever. You gotta know that it's 12 eggs. So if it's $3 for 12 eggs, it's 25 cents an egg. Okay? Yeah, if you put the $3 on the bottom, that's going to get the math wrong. So, like, what do you want 1 of? Do you want $1 or how much 1 egg is? How much 1 egg is? Did you get like 0.333 or something?
No.
Or did you get it right? Okay. Or 0.4. Did you get 0.4? That's what it is. So you put 12 on top. Or you did 12 divided by 3. And this is 3 divided by 12. Make sure you're getting it in the calculator right. I just got some far out looks. I don't know what's going on. 13. I like this one. The only difference on 13 was you're changing it from a unit rate, because they say that they save 17 trees every time they recycle 1 ton of paper. So what if they wanted to make 20 tons of paper? How many trees would they save?
20 tons.
20 tons, but how many trees? 340 trees. So because you're changing from a unit rate to a rate is why it is getting bigger. The numbers are getting larger. You're multiplying on that one. Uh-huh. You don't have to put rate, unit rate. That's just my teaching. That anything with 1 per 1 is the unit rate. So everything above this we were finding unit rate. Now they gave us unit rate and they want us to find a rate. That's the only reason I put that. Okay, 14. 14 was juice boxes. This is one that you got to think, do you want $1 or 1 juice box? You need 1 juice box on the bottom. So if it's $4 for 8 juice boxes, do the division. It's 0.5, which is 50 cents per juice box. That decimal's, like to me it's a word. It's got to be there. You can't say 50, like it's got to be 0.50. You could put a 50-cent sign. You could put a cent sign or whatever. It's fine. But give me something. Okay. On 15, this is where the weirdness kicks in. 15 is the one about the 2 classrooms and selling subscriptions of magazines. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is just a hint. I sent out a second video last night, and my second video was even called Homework Something. Okay, I went over this one in the video last night because I wanted you to see one of the ones that was more challenging and how I could kind of help you through it. I didn't do all the homework, but I did some of them just for the sake of, hey, if this helps you to see one of them worked out, look at it. Sometimes my videos might help you. Okay. Huh? So here we go. We got two different classes, and what it is sometimes schools will do magazine subscription sales, and all that means is you sell a subscription. A subscription is usually a 1-year kind of contract with that magazine that you want it for a year. So, you might sell me 1 year's worth of getting, the Oprah magazine at my house. Or you might sell me a year of getting Time magazine at my house. And the school makes money off of it. Okay. So, these kids, this teacher has 24 kids. They sold 72 subscriptions. So, on average, this class sold 3 subscriptions per student. Now, granted, one kid might have sold 7 and the next kid didn't sell any. It's an average. Does that make sense so far? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mr. Garcia's class sold 98 subscriptions with 28 kids. So he's got more kids, sold more subscriptions. But mathematically, in the average world, each one of his kids sold 3.5 subscriptions. I realize you can't sell a half of a subscription, but it's an average. It's kind of like if y'all look at me, like if someone says, Michelle, how much pizza do you eat a week? And I say, oh, well, I eat about 3/4 of pizza a week. Do I go to the store and buy 3/4 of pizza? No. It's an average. So like 3.5, I realize you probably can't buy half a subscription. But it's an average. So in the end, Mrs. Garcia's class sold more subscriptions with 3.5 subscriptions per student. You could have something like with 0.5 more half more subscriptions than the other class per student. Is that good on that one? This all it is it's got 2 or 3 comparisons on each one. Okay, number 16. This one had Genevieve and Patrick, and I kind of giggle because I guess it's almost like these two people must have gone to the gas station with their eyes closed, and they drove up and pumped a bunch of gas, and then they drove off, and they wondered how much they pumped or how much it cost them. I realize this is weird because we look at the big sign before we drive into the gas station, okay? But basically, all it is you got miles per gallon, price per gallon. This person paid $3.68 a gallon. This person paid $3.64 a gallon. It is only 4 cents difference, but Patrick did pay less per gallon. Because it's 4 cents less than Jennifer, and they want to know who paid less. Be careful. Next time they might ask you who paid more. This question kind of outdated because when we drive up to the gas station, we see the big sign, and it says how much are we going to pay per gallon. We also have lovely apps and all that good stuff that can tell us where the cheapest gas is. So I realize that, but here I have no clue. I mean, usually Murphy around here, but I'm not positive. Yeah, and like when I leave here, this sounds goofy, but when it comes to gas prices, when I leave here, and I'm thinking, okay, I got to get gas on my way home, which is the cheapest. You know, having the new place across the street, having Shell down the street, having Murphy down by the Walmart. The Murphy gas station that's with Walmart. I kind of, I look at prices sometimes. Sounds silly, but not all of us are made of money. So, okay, these three, this was to me the worst question because of confusion. Because you had to figure out, do they want 1 lap or do they want 1 minute? Well, if you flip-flopped it, you got the wrong answer. So the minute has to be on the bottom. Okay, from here, once you do that, I did write out what the whole calculator or a lot of the calculators said. The only reason being, I didn't know if they were all going to turn out to be 0.4 and then 166 and then there'd be an 8. If that calculator is repeating the same numbers, you may have to go out further to figure out which is better and which is worse. Okay? Honestly, Evan is the fastest because in 1 minute he went further. Okay? He did almost half a lap in a minute. This person did just a little bit less than him. This person did just a little bit less than both of them. But Evan would be the fastest. It's a weird question. I wish they said per minute, but they did. Yes?
I did it with the minutes on the top, and I still got the same answer.
Yes, you would get, lucky if you did it backwards. Yes. My thing is, and I want to show you in the book something. When you are deciding, and this is even today, you need to make sure that you know what they want 1 of. So like on that one, do they want 1 lap or 1 minute? But here's the thing, and we talked about this in my last class, on this question with number 17, they don't exactly tell you which one they want 1 of. It's a short little question here. There's just this little chart. You kind of got to know what they want 1 of. But please look at 18 with me, because sometimes they do this and they show it to you, but you got to find it. Look at 18 down here. It says a marathon is approximately 26 miles. If Joshua ran the marathon in 4 hours at a constant rate, find how far he ran per hour. Per hour means 1 hour. If you see the per, P-E-R, hint, hint, that means 1 hour. That means they want hour on the bottom. I'm saying this because sometimes you got to pick what do they want one of. And it's not always just right there in front of you. So since I saw the 1 hour, I knew I needed hours on the bottom, set it up, figured it out. Okay? It's just sometimes you're going to have to slow down and figure out what do they want one of. Okay. Today, the lesson is equivalent rates and ratios. I bet you already know what the word equivalent means. What is it? Equal. Right. So, all we're doing is kind of the same thing. We're going to find rates and ratios, but we're going to compare them. I am going to do this once again without writing sentences, but I need words. Okay? Please don't shorten it any shorter than me. Okay? It is the same thing. We're going to be using division, figuring out how much is 1, but now we're going to compare it. It's kind of like having 2 stores or something. We're going to compare what the price is or whatever. Okay? This is where you would pass out the notes on equivalent ratios. This worksheet. Waiting on them to get out their pencil and their calculator. It's okay. Okay, so these examples are right out of the book. We just made a sheet because it's easier. What is going on, guys? Thank you. You could have set it back there by the coffee pot. That would have been fine. Okay. Now, starting with number 1 here. They want us to determine if each pair of ratios or rates are equivalent and explain your reasoning. Your math will be your reasoning for me. I'm good with that. Here we go. So, it has $24 saved after 3 weeks or $52 saved after 7 weeks. Now, you've got to slow down for a second and say, do I want $1 or 1 week? How much? We're wanting to find how much you saved in 1 week. Week has to be on the bottom. So, I set it up like this. I write $24 in 3 weeks. So I got to find out how much this person saved in 1 week. So what is 24 divided by 3? 8. So he saved or she saved $8 in 1 week. $24 divided by 3. Okay, now I have to do the other rate. This person can save $52 in 7 weeks. And we need to compare with the other person, so we got to do weeks again. 52 divided by 7. Okay, and look, the calculator says 7.428, but I'm going to call it American money, goes out 2 digits. So that 8 would tell that 2 to change to a 3. Round up, guys. 8 tells it to round up to a 3. So 7.43 or $7.43. Okay, so the last part of the question, are they equal? No. This guy saves more per week. This guy saves less per week. I need no. And I'm good with it as long as you have all this, I'm good with just no. And you've got to label it. Dollar signs, weeks, all that good stuff. Okay. Is everybody good so far? Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you were asked yesterday, this is the same thing we did yesterday. Today, all it is we're just comparing two people or two different amounts. Okay? So look at the next one. You could kind of think of this as being like you pick up one bag of chips and it's 270 calories in 3 servings, but you pick up a different bag and it's 450 calories in 5 servings. Which one has more or less calories per serving? Or are they equal? Okay. Per serving, 1 serving. So, 270 calories. Yes, you have to write out calories. 3 servings. So, how much in 1 serving? 90 calories. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other side. It is 450 in 5 servings. How much in 1 serving? What's 8 times 5?
8.
It's 90, because 9 times 5 is 45. It's okay. 90 calories. So are they equal? Yes. This one is a yes, because it's 90 calories per serving. And that's all we're doing. Like, you're just looking. Are they equal or not? It's kind of like a lot of work for a little yes or no. Okay. So the next one, do you think we want to know 1 hour or $1? Look, 3 hours he works 12, 1 hour, 1 hour. So, $12 for 3 hours. How much in 1 hour? $4. So this guy, and I think about job searching. Maybe they go in and they say, well, if you work for me for 3 hours, I'll pay you $12. So you're trying to figure out $4 an hour, right? Okay. So then the next company or whatever says they're going to do 9 hours at $36. Well, if you do the math, it is the same thing. But I'm going to be honest. If you don't know math skills, you might think one company's paying you better than the other company. Okay, now granted, the other thing about this is they are equal, but if you are in a job that has a competitive pay scale, you can go to your boss and try to bargain a better pay rate. Now, I can't do that with teaching. Mine is set, okay? But if sometimes you work for these big companies and you're really good at your job, you can go in and say, you know what? This company over here is offering me $10 more an hour. What are you going to offer me? And if you're good enough, that company might say, you know what? We'll give you $12 an hour. Or they might say, well, $12 more an hour, but they might also say, get out the door, right? So people who are doing these kind of wage contracts or they're trying to compete for a job, a lot of times they'll call 2 different people. This guy says, well, I'll take $4 an hour, and this guy over here says, I got to have $5 an hour. They're usually going to go with the cheaper guy. That's part of the world. So when it comes to this stuff, I know sometimes y'all don't think it's normal, but like that is a normal question. Okay, number 4, 16 breaths in 60 seconds. So I guess they're talking how many times you inhale and exhale. 14 breaths in 15 seconds. Here we go. Do you think, we need to know how much in 1 second. So 1 second needs to be on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, I don't remember. Okay, so when I do, you're right, when I do get these crazy calculator numbers like that, I just copy a few because I don't know if it's going to be 266 on the next one also or not. I mean, that's just as right as if you round it. I'm just like, just leave it. Yeah, I mean, it makes it easier to compare. So I look at the next one. It is 14 breaths in 15 seconds. So how much in 1 second? I'm running out of space. Okay. 14 divided by 15 is 0.9333. So are they even? No. Definitely no on that one. But I just didn't know. So that's why I wrote out a bunch of the calculator on that first one. Like, yeah. Okay, so the last one. If they give you names, if they give you something, write the person's name next to the math. So on number 5, it says, Micah can do 75 push-ups in 3 minutes. Eduardo can do 130 push-ups in 5 minutes. Are these rates equivalent? And then explain. Do we want minutes on the bottom or push-ups on the bottom? Minutes, because it's like how many push-ups per minute. So, here we go. First, write the person's name. Micah, he can do, 75 push-ups in 3 minutes. So how many can he do in 1 minute? $75 divided by 3, 25. Okay, so now I look, I need to do Eduardo. D-U-A-R-D-O. Okay, Eduardo can do 130 push-ups in 5 minutes. So in 1 minute, he does how many?
26.
26. Let's try. Are they equal? No. Okay. And I'll admit, these questions can lead into, who is better and all that good stuff. We're not exactly doing that today. Luckily, we're just saying, are they equal or not? But we could say who is better at push-ups or who is slower at push-ups. Now, your homework is down here, and I'm going to show you a page in just a second. It is page 176, 6 through 17. Okay, 6 through 17. You what? Oh, yeah. Now, if you will look up here, I'm going to give you some hints. Okay, starting out. This is the actual page. So, 6 through 9 is honestly just like the notes. Setting up, if it's $12 for 3 books, how much is 1 book? If it's 16 points for 4 games, how much is 1 game? And compare them.
And I was like, why am I getting all that wrong?
Now it makes sense, doesn't it? Same thing here. Just keeps going with different numbers. Okay. Where I need you to start looking is down here. Number 14 gets a little weird. They basically have a poster, and they've got these numbers over here, like a width and a height. Well, they're basically asking you that if they took it and they made it that big, is it going to stay equal? Or is that picture going to turn out to be long and skinny or short and fat? Or is it like kind of crookedy, I guess? When they make enlargements of pictures, you obviously have to make the measurements correctly, or it's going to be like weird, okay? So they're wanting to know if when they take this picture and they change it to that, is it going to be an equal getting bigger? Okay, the one that really makes me interested is this number 17. And you're doing 14, 15, 16. But on 17, the weird part is this. There's a cute picture. It is part of 17. This picture is showing 3 different stores and the ads that they are running for, I guess, lemonade. You've got to look at the numbers. This store is doing 24 packs, 2 for $9. This store, though, is doing 12 packs, 4 for $10. Different size packs. That one, 12 packs, 3 for $9. Unit price at each store, so there's 3 stores. Which store should they purchase their cans of lemonade? 2 questions. Okay? You've got to that one's going to take a little math because there's 3 different stores to work with. Yes?
So you would use the 24 and the $9? Or, yeah,
Here's my thing, though. It's 2 packs for $9.
you would use 2 and 9?
Okay, so if 2 packs for $9, we need to find out how much is 1 pack, right? What I might do is give you some helpful hints in my next homework video. Does that make sense? Okay. So in a little bit, when I make my second video, it'll probably have a few examples and probably a little bit of this one. Does that make sense? How can you what? YouTube. Remind.
So you could do it on YouTube.
If you've got any internet, you can find Hedda Donahue, make sure it looks like me, haha. But these videos are on Remind. Question.